Welcome back in here with what we have here on the Otters Digital Network. There's one away in the bottom of the first inning. If we drop, just check the YouTube and we'll start another stream is the hope. One away, first pitch of the outing for Gossman was swung on by MacArthur and grounded out from Skinder to Olson, a 4-3 out to start the game. So now Scott Holzwasser, the right fielder, righty, is at the plate. He takes a first pitch outside for a ball. Or he's already taken a strike, so it's now 1-1. From the bottom of the first here from Joliet, no score between the Otters and the Slammers. Gossman looking in, kicks and throws, and Holwasser slaps one foul left side. No score, bottom of the first on a warm day here in the southwest suburb of Chicago. In front of a big crowd, total sellout crowd, and it is packed today indeed as the pitch sails outside to Holzwasser, 2-2. Otters looking for their 13th win of the season and trying to win their 5th series. Ground ball up the middle, past the glove of Gossman, shifting over to the left is Skinder. He's got it, throws to first in time for the second out of the inning. Back-to-back 4-3 outs to start the game for Austin Gossman and the Otters. So Goss making his 4th start of the season for Evansville. Righty from Avon, Indiana, 4.15 ERA in his 3 starts. 2-0 and 17 in the 3rd innings pitched. Gossman kicks and throws to Will Salas, the 3rd baseman who takes outside. Gossman's been solid in all 3 of his outings, allowed a fair amount of base runners, but has kept the Otters in all 3 games that he's pitched. Otters won the first 2, bullpen blew the last game he pitched at Quebec as Salas swings and misses. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. 3rd year with the Otters, Austin Gossman. A few guys more experience in the Frontier League than him. Comes the 1-1 pitch. Misses low, 2 balls and 1 strike. 11 strikeouts for Gossman and 17 in the 3rd. He's a contact pitcher. Just 5'10", doesn't throw him particularly hard. Comes the 2-1, fouled straight back, 2-2. Shadows are creeping across the infield here at Dooley Field. The roof behind the scenes, crawling over in between right now home plate and the mound. The ball starting in the sun and coming in the shade. The 2-2 is fouled off by Salas to stay alive. He fouled it off his foot, and he's grimacing in quite some pain. Almost all the infield and outfield in sunshine, except on the far left side where trees are starting to cast some shadows down the line. Certainly be a game of shadows over the next hour or so. Dan Schlereth, the manager for the Slammers, is out to check with Salas, pointing at where it hit him, just above the ankle. Two-two count here in the bottom of the first with 2 outs. Nobody on. Gossman looking for a 1-2-3 first. The Otters got a base hit from Skinder in the first, but that was all. Gossman nods. Long look in, pitch clock running, winding down, and he just gets it off as Salas fouls one back right off the luxury suites to my right and pinballing back into the stands. It's quite the setup here at Dooley Field with 13 luxury suites on the top of the stadium. Comes the 2-2, breaking ball outside and a full count to Salas. Payoff pitch coming. The pitch just inside for ball 4. So first base runner of the day for Joliet. Salas works a full count walk, and he'll bring up the cleanup batter, Matthew Workington, the first baseman. Workington, one of the top batters for the Slammers. They've struggled offensively this year, second to last in the Frontier League in batting average, but Workington hitting .286 on the year, third for Joliet. First pitch to the right. He sails outside for a ball, 1-0. One on, 2 outs, bottom of the first on a warm night here in Joliet. The opener of a 3-game series. First of the season, first of 3 series between these Frontier League West foes as Workington fouls one off left side and out of play. Told a sellout of over 4,000 today, and the stands are certainly packed. The seats are not entirely full, but in big part because the grassy berms both down the left field and right field lines where fans can just set up towels and lounge out on the grass are packed with families. 1-1 to Workington. Goss winds and throws, swing and a miss. Beautiful breaking ball all the way out in the left-handed batter's box. Got Workington to chase. No score here in the bottom of the first. Gossman needs one more strike to get out of the inning. He winds and throws, and it's fouled straight back. I hope the windows in front of me are glass proof, otherwise, or foul ball proof. Otherwise, I'm in for quite a glass shower because we've already had 2 foul balls nearly hit my window. Cool setup they've got for the broadcasters here. High atop Dooley Field. Another 1-2. Gossman winds and throws. Swing and a miss by Workington. He foul tipped it into the glove. A breaking ball by Gossman to finish off the inning. So 1 walk, that's all. Gossman offers in the first. We're through 1 on the Otters Digital Network. Scoreless here from Joliet.
Welcome to Duty, a healthier approach to health and care.
Low Voltage Solutions is your full-service telecommunications contractor, specializing in both the design and installation of all structure cabling, security, fire alarms, and audiovisual systems. They're your one-stop shop for all low voltage systems. Check out audiosolutions.com to learn more. That's audiosolutions.com. Low Voltage Solutions, high energy, low voltage. Fans, make sure to stop by and say hi to your favorite princesses tonight. We have Princess Belle over by the right field lawn area, Princess Rapunzel near the plate line in left field, and Princess Ariel on the left field deck area.
Welcome back to Joliet. As we go to the bottom of the second inning, we're scoreless between the Slammers and the Otters on a Friday night. Otters the lone hit in the first on a Skinder infield base hit. Omar Reyes, third baseman, will lead things off here for Evansville in the top of the second. Tyler J., lefty pitcher, winds and throws, and Reyes takes a pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. Reyes off to an excellent start on the season. A 13-game on-base streak now. He's reached in every game he's played as he takes a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jay kicks and throws, and Reyes swings and misses. Blowing through a fastball, 1-2. That's the biggest thing that Reyes needs to work on. Just a lot of swings and misses, especially early in counts, put him far behind, and he's still hitting at a high rate, reaching at a high rate, but I think if his goal is to get back to the big leagues or get back to affiliated ball where he was with the Orioles for 5 years, he's got to cut down on some swings and misses outside the zone. 2-2, fouls it straight back to stay alive. It's a very quick, rapid swing by Reyes. He just slaps at the ball, especially on pitches outside of the zone. Has plenty of power, though. It's the 2-2. Breaking ball outside. That's a good take from Reyes and a full count. Top of the second, no score here between the Slammers and the Otters. Evansville was swept here at Dooley Field when they played only once here in Joliet last year. Jay kicks and throws. It's high for ball 4. Good patience by Jomar Reyes, and the third baseman works a walk here in the top of the second. So bring up Jacob Olson, first baseman. One on and nobody out. Olson playing his best baseball of the year, really, over the last week for the Otters. He's ditched the batting gloves as he takes the first pitch outside, 1-0. We were talking about on the home broadcast the other day. He's riding up his pants all the way up to the knees, the tall blue socks, no batting gloves, no undershirt. Looks like he could be playing ball out on the Field of Dreams in Iowa. The 1-0, Olson swings and drives one to right. Back, Holwasher looking up, it's gone! Jacob Olson, a 2-run home run. Who needs batting gloves? And the Otters take a 2-0 lead. Indeed, playing the best baseball of his Otter career. He has his 3rd home run, his 7th hit in the last 5 games. It's all coming together at the right time for Jacob Olson here to start the month of June. The Otters striking first once again. Rosario lays down a bunt. It's a perfect one down the third base line. Wild throw by the third baseman Solis as he fell down, and Rosario will reach on a bunt base hit. So Olson has the 2-run home run as Jay, the pitcher, is probably still recovering, and Rosario tries to surprise and successfully surprises everyone with a beautiful bunt down the third base line. Solis tried to make a wild throw as he fell over. That was well wide of the first base bag, and now certainly all the players know Brian Rosario, the steal leader in the Frontier League, is going to try to steal the base. Nobody out as Justin Felix is the new batter. He takes the first pitch strike. Jacob Olson with his 3rd home run of the season to give the Otters a 2-0 lead here in the second. Olson had a 3-run home run last Friday night in Quebec and does it again on another Friday night on the road as Felix takes inside for a ball. 1-1. Rosario at first. He's taking a big lead over there. Good 3.5 stride lead with the first baseman Workington holding him on the back. The pitch, swing and a miss by Felix, 1-2. Rosario 20 for 20 on stolen bases this season. The 1-2 by Felix is flied foul, right side out of play. Still nobody out here in the top of the second. The Otters have scored first for the 17th consecutive game. Remarkable run. The 1-2, Felix just lunges at it, chopping it to stay alive. 17 straight games the Otters have scored first. You have to go all the way back to opening weekend, the second game of the season. The last time the Otters didn't score first. They actually scored in the first inning of that game, Saturday night game against Washington, but the Wild Thing scored in the top of the first. 1-2 to Felix. There goes Rosario, swing and a miss. Throw down to second is a good one, but it bounces in front of the shortstop to Preda Johnson, and Rosario has another stolen base, though Felix does strike out. So make it stolen base number 21 for Brian Rosario. Leading the Frontier League, still yet to be thrown out this season. Got a good jump. Swing and miss. Probably helped him. It was a good throw from steering behind home plate, but Rosario is untouchable right now on the base pass. So he's in scoring position with one out. Kelvin Melion, the shortstop at the plate, takes the first pitch high for a ball. 2-0 Otters here in the top of the second. Comes the 1-0 pitch. Melion fouls it straight back. Slammers are not a high-scoring team, scoring just under 5 runs a game, 12th out of 16 teams in the Frontier League. The Otters can put a few more runs up on the board. Slammers don't score in bunches. 1-1 sails high, 2 balls and 1 strike. Otters have shown a maybe even surprising, you would say, tendency to score in bunches this year. 5 times. They've scored 9 or more runs, 4 times in double digits. 2-1 pitch. Melion swings, drives one to center. Drifting back is MacArthur. He's under it to make the catch. Nowhere for Rosario to go at second. There's 2 away now here in the top of the second.
Now batting left fielder number 9, Noah Myers.
Rolls over to the top of the order in the Edward Jones leadoff batter. Noah Myers, left fielder, who grounded out to start the ball game. Olsen has opened the scoring for the Otters with a 2-run home run over the right field wall. And it was well over the right field wall. It's the one part of the ballpark, especially on a night tonight when the wind's blowing in from left center, to hit it. Ball can carry a little bit more, and the fence is a little bit closer. But Olsen gave a good thumping to that ball. It was going to leave the park in probably any yard. As Myers takes a first pitch strike. Jay winds and throws. Swing and a miss by Myers. 0-2. Otters in another hostile road atmosphere, similar to they faced in Quebec last weekend. Off to an early lead. The 0-2, Rosario goes down to third, and no one was even covering the bag, but it's strike 3 on Myers. The pitch caught the top of the zone. Myers left looking, and that ends the inning. Up before a 2-run home run by Jacob Olsen gives the Otters a 2-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the second on the Otters Digital Network.
And now it's time for the chicken toss presented by Hooters. We have our highly trained interns down there who are going to be launching chickens to our contestants. Just a bit outside on the first one. Number 2 coming up. A nice running catch by the young man. And here we have our third and final chicken ready to be launched. Excellent job. 2 out of 3 in bad. Thanks for playing.
Back at Dooley Field here in Joliet, a 2-0 lead for the Otters over the Slammers. Let's go to the bottom of the second inning in front of a big crowd on a Friday night. It's Princess Night here at the ballpark, and post-game fireworks as well here at Dooley Field. Austin Gossman now with some run support back on the bump to face field steering the catcher to lead off in the bottom of the second. Steering can't hold back on a pitch outside of the zone. It's quickly 0-1 to the ready catcher. Gossman 2-0 on the season. Every game he's exited so far this year, the Otters have had the lead. The 0-1, breaking ball at the knees for a strike, 0-2. Gossman, this is the second sellout crowd he's pitched against, and he certainly handled the one in Quebec last weekend very well. Comes the 0-2, slider outside, 1-2 to Steering. Facing another sellout here in Joliet. Off to a good start through an inning. First, the 1-2, inside to Steering, 2-2. Gossman went 5 1/3. Well, had 5 hits on 4 runs to Quebec, but the Otters had a lead when he exited. The 4 walks is what Gossman would like back from that outing, as Steering swings and foul tips one off just the end of the ball on home plate. Stay alive. Felix thought it was strike 3. Just a piece of it. Ball on the bat. The bat on the ball more so. Steering to stay alive. Two from Gossman. He winds and throws. Swing and a miss. Steering looking fastball. Gossman giving breaking ball. There's one away here in the second. Back-to-back strikeouts going back to the end of the first inning for Gossman. I'll bring up Lane Baremore, the left fielder for Joliet. Baremore hitting .267 on the year. Outfielder from Marble Hill, Missouri. The ready batter in this lineup. Gossman winds and throws. Strike on the inside corner. 0-1. Shadows keeping across the infield. Halfway across the infield now is the 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2. The mound is just barely in the sunshine right now, but the rest of the left side of the infield all in shadow. Skinder and Olsen still having to stare directly into the sun at first and second, respectively. 0-2. Gossman comes home, and Baremore swings, drives one down the right field line. Drifting over is Rosario, and making the grab in foul territory, right next to the mounds of the bullpen for the Slammers. Good play by Rosario. Not easy with the sunshine and the mounds over there in the bullpen, and Rosario does it with ease. Out and right today with Baez DHing. So 2 away, brings up Tyler DePreta Johnson, the shortstop. Another righty batter. It's the first pitch strike. It's the 6th start of the season out and right for Rosario. He's made 5 in left and also DH'd. Another utility player, similar to Olsen at first, who's moved around a fair amount. Outfield and infield for the Otters. DePreta Johnson fouled one off, 0-2. Gossman on the right side of the rubber. Looking into Felix. Got the sign, comes home. Just outside, 1-2. A plane flying overhead on nearly a cloudless evening here in Joliet. The 1-2 pitch is fouled right into the Otters dugout, and a nice little play made by Dakota Phillips over there. Has the night off and fielded it on one hop, grabbed it, and now they're discussing if he should throw it over the net and into the stands and give someone a gift. The 1-2 fouled away right side and out of play by DePreta Johnson. Let's see what Dakota's going to try to do now. He's walking over further down the net. Is he going to try to throw? Oh, he is going to throw it over, and he's found a fan. He's found a young fan, and he's got the baseball. Dakota Phillips, the Good Samaritan. 1-2 is swung on and driven over the head of Skinder and into right center. Base hit for DePretta Johnson. First hit of the day for the Slammers.
Now batting designated hitter number 26, Christian Fitco.
Just the second runner for the Slammers. A 2-out base hit for DePretta Johnson brings up Christian Fitco, the DH. 1 on and 2 outs. Got this great stat today for the Otters starters that's so impressive as Gossman comes home to the righty Fitco. It sails outside for a ball 1-0. Evansville is tied for the lead with Windy City, in fact, for quality starts by their pitchers. 10 so far this season, quality appearances by pitchers. The 1-0 inside, 2-0. That means going at least 6 innings and allowing 3 earned runs or less. Really, all 5 guys for the Otters have, at times this year, been terrific. The 2-0 is high, 3-0. Also with the experience, too, Gossman in his 3rd year with the Otters, Tim Holgraver in his 3rd year with the Otters, Zach Smith in his 2nd, Justin Watlin in his 3rd, Vargas the only newcomer in the starting 5 for Evansville. 3-0 pitch to Fitco. It's right down the middle, 3-1. Fitco, graduate of UConn, just 1 hit on the season. Early this back half of the lineup for Joliet's really struggled. The 3-1 pitch is swung on and driven down the left field line, a fair ball. Racing all the way over to the line is Myers to field it. Fitco's going to try for 2. Great throw. He is out. Now Myers erases the base hit by Fitco with a great throw all the way from the left field line to second base. Skinder applies the tag and ends the threat. The Otters defense helping out Austin Gossman. And we're through 2, a 2-0 lead for the Otters over the Slammers on the Otters Digital Network.
Make sure to stop by and say hi to your favorite princesses tonight. We have Princess Devil by the right field line area, Princess Rapunzel Nita playground in left field, and Princess Ariel on the left field deck area. Leading off the Evansville third, second baseman number 1, Ethan Skinder.
Welcome back to Dooley Field here in Joliet. 2-0 lead for the Otters. Go to the top of the 3rd inning with Ethan Skinder leading things off for Evansville. Skinder takes a first pitch for a ball from Tyler J., the southpaw. Illinois grad winds and throws inside to Skinder. 2-0. 2-0 lead for the Otters on a 2-run home run by Jacob Olson back in the 2nd. Skinder is returning back home to his home state as he takes the pitch low, 3-0. From Metamora, Illinois. About an hour and a half southwest of here in Joliet, near Peoria. The 3-0 pitch is right down the middle for a strike, 3-1. Couple Illinois guys on the Otters roster. Kevin Davis, Orland Park guy in the Chicago area as well. The 3-1 is swung on and driven into center. Lazy fly ball over to the left is MacArthur, and the center fielder is there, one away.
Now batting designated hitter number 33, Jeffrey Baez.
Brings up Jeffrey Baez, the DH, with one down here in the top of the third. 2-0 lead for Evansville over Joliet in the opener of this 3-game series. Here, Dooley Field, certainly one of the more modern and impressive ballparks in the Frontier League. Jay winds and throws, pitch outside to Baez, 1-0. Downtown Joliet, train tracks and the river, casino here in Joliet. Really great location for a ballpark. The 1-0 with Baez swings, drives one hard down the left field line. Is foul. It flew over the fence. It was a matter of foul or fair, and the third base umpire, Chad Ozzie, waving his arms to the left to indicate a foul ball. Rocket right down the line. Baez narrowly missed that. That off the bat, I thought that might be a pole ringer, but it just sailed to the left of the foul pole. 1-1 to Baez. Now he swings and misses, 1-2. Wind has died down a little bit from left center, but shows how hard Baez hit that ball down the left field line. The 1-2 is swung on, a little blooper out into right over as the second baseman Hill. He's under it, makes the grab. There's 2 away here in the third. Brings up the center fielder, Kona Quiggle, with 2 outs and nobody on here in the top of the third inning. 2-0 lead for the Otters. They have already scored in the first 3 innings, and there's all so many remarkable numbers that the Otters have put up in this hot start to the season through 18 games. First pitch to the lefty Quiggle is fouled straight back. Another impressive number. The Otters now, by scoring today in the first 3 innings, in their last 18 games out of 19 on the season, have scored in the first 3 innings. The only game they haven't done so was on opening day when they were shut out. The 0-1 to Quiggle is outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. This team just has a knack for jumping on teams early. Now, they haven't all resulted in wins. The Otters are tied for the most blown leads in all of the Frontier League, but that's because they've led so much in every single game this season, with the exception of the opening games. Quiggle, swings and misses, 1-2. Two-run home run by Olson, maintaining that streak. Quiggle fouls another pitch straight back. Just missing a few of these. 1-2 from Jay. Bases are empty here in the top of the third with 2 outs, and the Otters leading 2-0. Jay kicks and throws, and Quiggle just gets his bat on it to trickle it foul on the first base line. Billy Heasley, first base coach for the Otters, picks it up and rolls it into the Joliet dugout. One-two pitch coming. Here it is. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Shadows nearly across all of the infield now. Slowly creeping in from the west. The 2-2 is fouled away left side by Quiggle and out onto the grassy berm down the left field line. It's really, it looks like a minor league ballpark through and through here at Dooley Field, with the big concourse, the seats spreading out both ways, and then grassy seating further down the lines and out on the right field grass as well. As Quiggle takes high and a full count. 93 miles per hour on the gun from Jay. The suites as well, adding to that minor league ballpark feel. Green seats. Very modern. Payoff to Quiggle. Breaking ball, strike recalled on the outside corner. That is the 4th strikeout for Tyler J, and it's his 5th strikeout actually making for Tyler J in his 2nd looking at the game. So the Otters go down in order in the 3rd. 2-0 Evansville leads. We go to the bottom of the 3rd on the Otters Digital Network.
Leading off the 3rd for the Slammers, second baseman, number 24, G.J. Hill.
To the bottom of the 3rd inning from Joliet on a Friday night. 2-0 lead for the Otters over the Slammers. Austin Gossman's first pitch of the 1st is grounded right side. Gloved by Olsen, falls over, picks it back up, and steps on the bag for the 1st out of the inning. Hard hit ground ball by G.J. Hill, the 2nd baseman. Olsen dove to his right to field it and then kind of tripped on the ground to try to get back up. But recollected himself to get to the bag. 1 pitch, 1 out. Back to the top of the lineup, and the lefty Liam MacArthur, the center fielder, takes a first pitch for a strike. Gossman on the right side of the rubber, winds and throws outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to MacArthur. Two hits for the Slammers, 1 walk given up by Gossman, no runs. Comes the 1-1. On the outside corner for a strike, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Otters' first 2 trips were to places they'd never been before on the road, with the Stade Canuck up in Quebec and Hinchliffe in New Jersey. Comes the 1-2 to MacArthur. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. But now here with the West Division foe, all the returning Otters have played here, and a guy like Gossman has been here multiple times over 2 different seasons. 2-2 from the 3rd-year Otter, inside and a full count. Just adds to being a little bit more comfortable, knowing where the ballpark is, the hotel, the bus ride, which felt incredibly short today. I never thought a 5-hour bus ride could feel short, but it felt really short. The payoff is chopped, a 1-hopper. Melion gloves it, throws from his knees to first, but not in time. MacArthur with an infield base hit. Melion did the best he could over it short. 1-hopped and kind of almost sat him down on his back. Had to make the throw in a squat position, and too late for the speedy leadoff batter MacArthur. So he's aboard, an infield base hit, the 3rd hit of the day for the Slammers. 1 on and 1 out, and Scott Holwasser, the right fielder, righty batter to the plate. Gossman kicks and throws out. Nope, actually, check that. Looked outside to me, but Catches the outside corner, according to Clark Morgan for a strike. Just a two-stride lead over at first from MacArthur. Olson holding him on the back. Comes the 0-1 from Goss. Swung on and fouled straight back. 0-2. Teams played 9 times last year, and no one lost at home last year. The Otters swept Joliet in all 6 games at Bosse Field, and the Slammers swept the Otters in the 1 series here at Dooley Field. See if that changes this year. The 0-2 pitch is pulled outside and bounces off the chest protector of Felix, and back into play. Felix runs after it quickly, and MacArthur stays put at first. Goss adjusts the hat, goes back to the rosin bag behind home plate. Steps back on the bump, all artificial turf mound. A little bit different for pitchers. I think what a lot of pitchers do not prefer. Comes the 1-2. It's swung on it high in the air to left. Back is Myers at the track, leaping and out of here. Two-run home run for Scott Holzwasser, and we're all tied at 2. Holzwasser's second home run of the game ties us at 2 apiece. Myers gave it everything he could and left with a high leap. Ball was just too tall for the left fielder. So Holzwasser with his second home run ties up the ball game here at 2 in the bottom of the 3rd. We're saying balls couldn't leave the yard, and they've been proven wrong already in the first 3 innings here. A home run apiece by both teams in what certainly at first glance appears to be a pitcher's ballpark. Will Salas, the third baseman at the plate, took a first pitch strike and now fouls one right side and onto the grassy berm. It's quickly in a hole 0-2. Holzwasser, his second home run for a guy hitting below 250. Struggling Slammers lineup, but the Otters saw with the Windy City lineup that struggled doesn't mean that they can't get on base and get some hits. The 0-2 outside 1-2. Otters took the series from the Thunderbolts at Bosse, but Windy City actually hit well on the weekend or on the week series and challenged the Otters pitchers. The 1-2 from Goss is high, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Solis. Just 1 walk offered by Gossman so far after struggling a little bit with his command in his last outing. The 2-2, swing and a miss. A second strikeout or third strikeout make it for Austin Gossman. And the second out of the inning here in the 3rd. Brings up Matthew Workington, the first baseman, with 2 away. Nobody on here in the bottom of the 3rd. We're all tied at 2. Gossman kicks and throws, sails outside to righty Workington, the first baseman. A righty-heavy lineup for Joliet. Certainly a contrast to the Otters, who have a lefty-heavy hitting lineup. A 1-0, swing and a miss on a breaking ball, 1-1. Gossman winds and comes home. Workington grounds one up the middle. To his right is Melion. Gloves it, throw to first in time to beat Workington by 2 strikes. A 2-run home run by the Slammers. Scott Holzwasser ties the game up at 2 apiece. We're through 3 here from Joliet. All tied at 2 on the Otters Digital Network.
leading off the Evansville fourth, third baseman number 28, Jamar Reyes.
Welcome back to Joliet, a tie ball game through 3, 2-2 between the Slammers and the Otters, as Jamar Reyes, the third baseman for Evansville, batting righty this evening, takes the first pitch high to lead off the top of the fourth. Lefty Tyler J. kicks and throws outside for a ball, 2-0 to Reyes. 3 hits for the Otters, a 2-run home run by Jacob Olson in the second inning. The catalyst to give the Otters a lead. 2-0 is a beautiful breaking ball. Front backdoor slider, sliding in on the hands of Reyes, 2-1. Joliet responded with a 2-run home run of their own in the bottom of the third. Now we've gotten to tie. Reyes fouls one off, 2-2. Certainly a contrast in pitching matchups tonight with lefty 7 years of college baseball played, Austin Gossman. Gutsy, not guy whose stuff certainly shines out as the 2-2 is fouled off the netting above the Joliet dugout. Reyes stays alive. Bounced around a few different places. Gossman in college really found his fit at USI. Tyler J, maybe the most highly touted. You look at highest drafted. It's hard to get any higher drafted than Jay was of anyone in the Frontier League, as Reyes takes strike 3 on the outside corner, and there's one away. That is the 6th strikeout for Jay, and that's his specialty. 21 strikeouts entering the year on 14 innings pitched. And he's continued to put up large number of Ks. That's his 6th strikeout and also his 3rd strikeout looking. So up comes Jacob Olson, already with the 2-run home run. First pitch to Olson is a strike. A 1 from Jay is low. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Jay, we mentioned, highly drafted, the 6th overall pick in the 2015 MLB draft. Not the 6th round pick, the 6th overall pick. You can't get much higher than that. 1-1 is grounded left side under the glove of the third baseman, Solis, and into left field. Jacob Olson, a 2-hit day already, and the sun is not close to setting. A 2-run home run, and now a base hit under the glove of the third baseman, Solis. 1 out knock for Olson brings up Rosario with 1 on and 1 out. Rosario had a base hit back in the second. Bunt base hit as he takes the first pitch outside from Jay. 1-0. So Jay, the 6th overall pick by the Twins. He was a reliever, primarily a closer at University of Illinois. Their highest ever still draft picked. Illinois Champaign, Big Ten, as Rosario fouls one off, 1-1. But the Twins were hoping to convert him into a starter. Well, that did not end up going very well for them or Jay. Struggled to adapt to being a starter and never rose up further than Double-A. Comes the 1-1 from Jay. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Spent 6 years. Eventually, after an arm injury, they tried converting him into a reliever. Just eventually released him. The Reds picked him up for a couple years. Also never made it higher than Double-A. Comes the 2-1. Olson, goes. Rosario slaps it right side foul. Olson will have to return back to the back. So Jay, after striking out in the major leagues after being a top 10 round pick, now in his 2nd year here with the Slammers, he was a bullpen guy last year. The 2-2, and Rosario Fouls left side in front of the Otters dugout to stay alive. Jay kicks and throws, and Rosario grounds it foul again. Jay's from nearby to Lamont, Illinois. About 15 minutes up the road here from Dooley Field. So comes home, still playing for a professional baseball team, now a veteran. Came out of the bullpen last year, effectively too, very effectively. And now trying to return to his starter ways. The 2-2 is high, and a full count to Rosario. Jay made 22 appearances, just 22 innings out of the pen, but a 1.64 ERA, and now back to being a starter. It's interesting how it just works for some guys. They can be a reliever, they can be a starter. Sometimes only one way fits them. The payoff inside for ball 4 to Rosario. Good battle by Rosario. He fouls off 3 pitches and eventually works a walk. And the Otters are threatening here in the top of the 4th now. They have 2 on with just 1 out. Olsen at second, Rosario at first. Justin Felix, the catcher, coming to the plate. Felix struck out his first time up. All tied at 2. This time is called by Jay on the bump. Jay trying to bounce back after his worst performance of the season against Gateway. He kicks and throws. Pitch low for a ball to Felix, 1-0. Jay comes home inside and sliding over as the catcher steering to keep it in front of him. 2 balls and no strikes to Felix with 2 on and 1 out in the top of the 4th. Evansville trying to answer the 2 runs by Joliet in the bottom of the 3rd and retake the lead. Excellent opportunity here from the bottom of the lineup. 2-2. Slider in for a strike. Some good horizontal movement on it from Jay and a full count. No doubt the stuff is good from Tyler Jay. I was promised that. You expect that from a top 10 overall draft pick, and seen it today, but also seen the lack of consistency today. The 2-2 swung on and driven high in the air to center. Back is MacArthur at the edge of the track, makes the catch. Both runners are going to tag. Olsen and Rosario don't even need to slide. That ball was hit very deep by Felix. Just missed one. Maybe if the wind was blowing the other way, wouldn't have missed one, but he does advance both runners. Olsen going to 3rd and Rosario to 2nd, and it gives a chance for Kelvin Melion, the shortstop. Try to bring him home with 2 outs. All tied at 2 here in the top of the 4th. Olsen at 3rd, Rosario at 2nd. 2 runs on 4 hits here in the 4th so far for the Otters, and now it is coming the pitching coach, Wes Anderson, to have a word with Jay. And no, I know you're wondering, it's not that Wes Anderson. The movie director has not decided to take a side job as a pitching coach for the Joliet Slammers, though that would be an interesting career change. Quick meeting with pitcher, catcher, and third baseman as well, Solis for the Slammers. And now here comes Clark Morgan, the home plate umpire, to break it up. Limited mound visits, limited time on there with all the Frontier League rule changes. Got the pitch clock put into effect this week, and I really thought it might be a big storyline. It just hasn't. There was 1 violation called in the whole first series at Bosse Field all week. It was Reyes called as a batter, too, for the violation. So Melion stands in as the first pitch is in for a strike from Jay. 2 on and 2 out here on the top of the 4th, all tied at 2. Jay trying to work out of the jam. The 0-1 swung on and missed by Melion. 0-2. Leon's had a good first week as an Otter with 4 RBIs and 3 hits. A hit apiece each game so far for the Venezuelan shortstop. The 0-2 pitch, swung on, chopped right to the third baseman, Salis. Gloves it across the diamond in time to beat Melian. The Otters strand 2 on a hit in the top of the 4th. No runs. We're all tied at 2 on the Otters Digital Network.
Check out their sign by the creamery to scan the QR code to see the upcoming events in the area. Tonight, though, it's really more of a sing-along. Here we go. Leading off the 4th for the Slammers, catcher number 5, Phil Spearing.
Welcome back to Joliet, all tied at 2 here between the Otters and the Slammers. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Austin Gossman winds and throws a first pitch strike to Phil Steering, the catcher. Lead things off in the bottom of the 4th. Just 2 two-run home runs by each team, making it a 2-2 ballgame. Gossman on the right side of the rubber comes home. A strike to Steering, 0-2. 2-run blast by Jacob Olsen in the 2nd. Scott Holzwasser, right fielder for the Slammers, with a 2-run home run of his own in the 3rd. Sun is mostly out of the picture now. Just a little bit of sunlight left way out in center field. The rest of the infield in shadow. The 0-2, high, 1-2. Big crowd here on this Friday night. If you've been hearing the maybe surprising choice of music in between half innings here at the ballpark, it is Princess Night. And not just big Frozen fans. Play it here every night. The 1-2 fouled straight off. Though honestly, if they played Frozen songs the whole year at the ballpark, that might attract a pretty solid crowd. Who doesn't love Let It Go? But they had a meet and greet with princesses before the game, and plenty of people dressed up. Princess songs, Disney songs, kid songs throughout this entire ball game. 1-2 count to Steering. Gossman, long looking, kicks and throws. Outside, 2-2. They had a little princess parade as well for really anyone that wanted to go walk on out about 30 minutes before the game. Walk from the first base dugout to the third base dugout. Feel like a princess out on the field. The 2-2 outside and a full count. Who doesn't want to feel like a princess on the baseball field every once in a while? Payoff pitch coming to Steering. Gossman winds and throws outside for ball 4. Rolls all the way back to the backstop, and Felix running after it, making sure steering doesn't go any further than first. So steering a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the fourth. That brings up Lane Baremore, the left fielder. One on and nobody out. All tied at 2. It's the first leadoff batter of an inning to reach on Gossman's tab. And just the second walk for Gossman. Gossman winds and throws outside, 1-0. Kind of detailed already today. Goss is he's allowed base runners, he's allowed some walks, traffic on the bases, but really his specialty is working deep into games and not allowing any little cuts and 1 or 2 runs to balloon into game-costing innings. The 1-0 to Baremore is shot foul left of the third base back. Just the 3 earned runs allowed in his first game against Ottawa. His best start, 7 innings, allowing just 1 earned run against Trois-Rivières a couple weeks back. And then the 4 earned runs allowed against Quebec last Saturday night at the Stade Canuck in Canada. The 1-1 from Gossman, swing and a miss by Baremore. 1-2. We talked about the contrasting journeys between the two pitchers, Jay and Gossman. Also contrasting styles in terms of speed. Jay works quite quickly, and Gossman is a very methodical worker on the mound. He kicks and throws, and Baremore swings and misses. Back-to-back breaking balls. Baremore was well in front of them. First down of the inning, the 4th strikeout for the Screaming Eagle alum here in the bottom of the 4th. So 1 out, it brings up Tyler DePretta Johnson, the shortstop. Steering still at first, we're all tied at 2. First pitch, a slider on the inside corner to DePretta Johnson, the shortstop. He had a base hit back in the second. 4 hits for both teams and 2 runs, no errors. Gossman letting the pitch clock wind down to about 5 before he fires. DePretta Johnson swings and drives one into right field, a base hit. Poked one through in the 3-4 hole. First hit of the 4th inning. And there's 2 on with 1 out now for the Slammers. It's the first time all game they've had 2 on at the same time. Not too much power or doing too much with it for DePretta Johnson. And a guy that struggled offensively for most of this season has a 2-hit day. Brings up Christian Fedko, the DH. Steering at second, DePretta Johnson at first, and 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Lights are on here. Dooley Field, not yet into effect. First pitch to Fedko is in for a strike. Fedko hit one down the left field line and tried to stretch a base hit into a double, but Noah Myers made an excellent throw all the way from the line to throw out Fedko and end the second out. Gossman with a dark black glove today. Comes home and Fedko fouls it away right side. And onto the grassy berm and off a couple trees and, oh my goodness, swarms of children on both berms just running around, and the ball's hit and a mass of humanity chases after it. So many kids out at the ballpark tonight just running around out on the grassy lawns on both sides. Awesome to see. The 0-2 is fouled and struck out, saying home plate umpire. I thought Fedko got a piece of it. That's what he's arguing. Home plate umpire Clark Morgan saying no, it was a swing and miss, and then it hit his body, not his bat. It was a pitch well inside, a really nasty pitch by Gossman. And Fedko took a wild hack at it. Thought he got the baseball on the bat. Manager Dan Schlereth is out. He was pointing to the bat of Fedko to say, hey, let me show you where it hit on the bat. And now the umpires are converging to have a meeting. If Fedko swings and didn't hit his bat, he's out. Doesn't matter if it hit him. But if it is bat, of course, it's just a foul ball, and we'll do the 0-2 again. I don't think you can change your call now, but Clark Morgan, Chad Ozzie, and Reed Hoover having a meeting just to the right of the pitcher's mound, and Gossman is patiently waiting. 2 on with 1 out. This is a big call here. Otters trying to get the second out of the bottom of the 4th, and Gossman trying to work around a little bit of a jam. There is no replay here in the Frontier League. Not sure. I don't have a good enough expertise on the MLB replay rules. If you could review that in Major League Baseball. And now they're going to call it a foul ball. Wow. They're going to reverse the call. Andy McCauley, of course, is coming up from the Otters dugout now to try to get an explanation. That is rare to see, a lengthy meeting. And a change of decision by Clark Morgan that hit the bat of Fedko. Andy McCauley putting his hands up in disbelief. He's having a word with Chad Ozzie, the third base umpire. Maybe had a better view of it, and that's why Clark Morgan discussed with him if he thought it hit the bat. But once you make the call, reversing it is exceedingly rare. It's been quite the delay here. I mean, at this point, I think if you're Gossman, you'd rather just get it over with and get back to pitching. It's been a good 2.5 minutes or so since he's thrown a pitch. As the meeting concludes with McCauley and the 2 umps. The skipper for the Otters shaking his head as he heads back into the Evansville dugout. Now, Clark Morgan's going to clean off home plate, get the pellets of this artificial turf field cleared off, and finally, Gossman's going to head back in and face an 0-2 with Fedko. That was a good 3 minutes or so in between pitches. If anyone, though, is able to respond, it's a veteran like Austin Gossman. Winds and throws and bounces it into the left-handed batter's box, 1-2. Steering at second to Preda Johnson at first with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. We're tied at 2 on this warm Friday night from Joliet. Gossman at the chest, comes home low, 2-2. Glad you're joining us on this Friday night. Be happy to know where you're listening from. Feel free to leave a comment on the YouTube chat page. You might earn a shout out. 2-2 from Gossman. Swung on, a blooper over the head of Skinner and into right center. It's going to roll deep into right. This will score 1 run, and into second goes to Preda Johnson with an RBI double. After the reversal of calls on the called third strike, it was Fedko, not to Preda Johnson, who just blooped a ball into right center, but either Quiggle or Rosario took a good angle on it. Steering easily scored from second to Preda Johnson around to third, and Fedko ends up motoring all the way into second base, and no one was covering the bag. Easily able to make it in. And now Max Peterson walking out to the mound, and he's having a word with Gossman and the rest of the infield. They're playing some clip from some TV show as a joke on the Jumbotron as Gossman and Max Peterson meeting. I think now Max Peterson is saying some words to Clark Morgan. The Otters unhappy certainly here with the change of calls that ends up costing Evansville. We'll give a double to Fedco. Dupretta Johnson at third, and Joliet has taken a 3-2 lead here in the bottom of the fourth, and there's still only one out as G.J. Hill comes to the plate. Hill, a lefty batter. First pitch to Hill, swing and a miss. G.J. Hill, lefty batter, hitting just 196 on the year. Another highly touted guy, fourth-round draft pick in 2019 out of high school in Santa Cruz High School in California. Was a pick of the Diamondbacks. Comes the 0-1 to Hill, swung on and sent high in the air to center. Myers will make the catch. Dupretta Johnson will try from third, and Myers throws down to third base in case Fedco was going to try to take an extra bag. So Dupretta Johnson scores on the sacrifice fly from Hill. It's a two-run inning for the Slammers, and they lead 4-2 now here in the bottom of the fourth with 2 outs. 2 in the third, now 2 in the fourth for the Slammers to take a 4-2 lead. Back to the top of the order, and Liam MacArthur, the center fielder, lefty batter for the Slammers. MacArthur takes the first pitch high, it bounces off the glove of Felix and rolls all the way back to the backstop. And Fedco goes down to third base. It's a pretty expansive foul territory here at Dooley Field. Not certainly as expansive, of course, as Bosse Field, which has the biggest foul territory in the Frontier League, but it's just a lot of extra room, especially right behind home plate. How this ballpark was built, and I think also in part because it serves as a soccer stadium as well here at Dooley Field. So 1-0 count to MacArthur. Felix had a few words for Gossman. Now Gossman fires and sails outside. 2-0 to MacArthur. Steel City FC plays here, a semi-pro soccer team in the National Premier Soccer League. Comes the 2-0, outside 3-0 count to MacArthur. Gossman looking for one more out here in the fourth to get out of the inning, as 2 runs have come across for the Slammers. .3-0 from Gossman. He's in for a strike, 3-1. There's some kind of dots that look very curious on a baseball field, as if someone is thrown, I don't know, napkins, different colored napkins on the field. As MacArthur swings, grounds one right to the shortstop. Melion throws to first, little wide of the bag. Wilson tried to get the tag on MacArthur, and he couldn't. It's an infield base hit, and Fedco scores from third. Looked like an easy final third out of the inning to get the Otters out of the jam, but Melion did not make a great throw from shortstop, a little bit to the left of the first base bag. Olsen had to come off and try to make the catch and swipe MacArthur as well, and he just couldn't make contact. MacArthur goes on the first pitch from Holwasser. Good throw down to second, but it's still late. The ball bounces off the glove of Skinder. It's a stolen base now for MacArthur. MacArthur reaching goes down as an error, so an E6. The run Fedco scoring from third is unearned. 3 have come across here in the fourth, and it's a 5-2 lead for the Slammers. The Otters have not won a game yet this season when allowing 5 or more. I'll check that. They've only once this season won a game when allowing 5 runs or more. Scott Holwasser is the batter. He now takes a strike, so it's 1-1 to Holwasser. MacArthur at second with 2 outs here in the fourth. 1-1 from Gossman. Catches the inside corner for a strike, 1-2. 85 pitches now for Austin Gossman. James Crick is warming in the Otters bullpen here in the fourth. Comes the 1-2 pitch outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Otters are going to go back to that change call on Fedko and what would have been a swinging strike for out number 2. That call was reversed to say that he fouled the pitch off. That hurt the Otters in this inning as the 2-2 sails outside. Would have been the second out. Instead, Fedko, after a good 3-minute delay with manager conversations and an umpire conversation, just blooped a hit into right center that kept on rolling and ended up turning into an RBI double before Myers in center, or Quiggle in center, could cut it off. The payoff, swing and a miss by Holzwasser. He strikes out. The Slammers, though, get 3 runs across in the 4th, and they lead 5-2 through 4 on the Otters Digital Network.
All right, Slammers fans, get on your feet. It's time for the Big Frog T-shirt call. Big Frog custom T-shirts where fun is always celebrated. Need 1 shirt? Big Frog can help you. Need 500 shirts? Big Frog can do that too. With no artwork fees and no minimum, we can get you your custom T-shirt now. Visit the Big Frog team in Sherwood on Route 59. Saturday, June 3rd, it's sitcom night. Kate Flannery, best known for playing Meredith on The Office, will be in attendance. Be sure to visit the box office to purchase your VIP meet and greet package before they all sell out. Meet and greet packages include a chance to get a photo with Kate and also receive an autograph. Getting off the Evansville 5th, left fielder number 9, Noah Myers.
Welcome back to Dooley Field. A 5-2 lead for the Slammers over the Otters. A 3-run 4th inning has given Joliet the lead. As the sun is starting to set here in Chicagoland, Myers leads things off for the Otters in the top of the 5th. The lefty takes a first pitch strike. He raises sunshine, hitting the old high school out past right field as Myers swings and misses again. 0-2. It's old downtown, historic Joliet. It's still actually, I wasn't sure. It says Joliet High School on it. It looks so old, I wasn't sure if it still was a high school, as Myers fouls one away. It's Joliet Central High School, which is a very old-fashioned looking building. Downtown was first developed in Joliet, and then the city really expanded to become the 3rd largest city now in the whole state. The 0-2 is swung on and grounded. Right side in is G.J. Hill, throw to first to beat a sprinting Myers by a step. 1 out here in the top of the 5th. 5-2 lead for the Slammers over the Otters here in the top of the 5th with 1 away. Ethan Skinner, the second baseman, coming to the plate. So Joliet is the 3rd biggest city in the state of Illinois, and Evansville is the 3rd biggest city in the state of Indiana. So this is a battle for 3rd biggest city in the state supremacy this weekend. Skinner swings and misses at the first pitch he sees. Jay on the right side of the rubber, kicks and throws, and Skinner swings and misses. 0-2. I was surprised. I barely heard of Joliet before coming here, much less thinking it would be the 3rd biggest city in Illinois over the likes of Rockford and Springfield and Champaign, Peoria, Normal. So many other large cities in Illinois, but no, it's Joliet. The 0-2 inside, 1-2. And the second biggest city is Aurora, another suburb of Chicago. 1-2 pitch coming to Skinder. Here it is. Swung on and grounded right to the second baseman Hill. Gloves it. Tossed to first in time to beat Skinder by 2 strides. 2 away. And Tyler J on a roll. Just the 2 runs in the second. Jay has retired 4 Otters in a row. His next pitch will be his 80th year in the 5th, but he is working strong right now and silencing the Otters. Former top 10 draft pick as Jeffrey Baez, the DH, takes a first pitch outside. Baez 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a pop out. A 1-0 from Jay, swing and a miss. 1-1. Few wispy clouds overhead. The sun has now disappeared and the light's starting to come into effect. A 1-1 swing and a miss by Baez, 1-2. Joliet has this great ballpark here at Dooley Field. Also has an auto racing track, the Chicagoland Speedway, where a NASCAR race is held every year. The 1-2 inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. I know my good friend and color partner back at Bosse Field on our home broadcast, Lucas Donhauer, is in St. Louis this weekend to watch the NASCAR there. 2-2 by Baez. He chops it left side. Charging in is the shortstop to Preda Johnson. Throw to first in time to beat Baez. The Otters go down in order on 3 groundouts in the top of the 5th. We're halfway home here from Joliet. The Slammers lead 5-2. So go to the bottom of the 5th on the Otters Digital Network.
Scheduling the group outing in the suites, call the Slammers office at 815-722-2287. Now pitching for the Otters, number 21, James Griffin.
Welcome back to Joliet. Under the lights on a Friday night. Slammers leading 5-2 over the Otters here on the Otters Digital Network. Glad you're joining us on this Friday evening, the first weekend of June. Happy summer. James Crick is into the ball game for the Otters as a new pitcher. 4 innings ends the day for Austin Gossman. 5 runs, 4 earned on 6 hits come across on Gossman's total this evening. Crick on the far right side of the rubber winds and throws. The first pitch sails high to Will Salas, the third baseman. Crick has been excellent out of the bullpen for the Otters, making his 8th appearance of the season. And just one of those 7 appearances so far as he allowed a run. The 1-0 breaking ball catches the inside corner one, and to one up that was the only appearance, 1 out of 7, where he's even allowed a hit. Actually, check that. 1 other appearance he's allowed a hit. 5 of his 7 on the season has not allowed a hit. The 1-1 swing and a miss by Salas, 1-2. 9 innings pitched. Has allowed 3 hits, 9 strikeouts, and just 1 run. The 1-2 is high, 2-2. Only run he allowed was a grand slam he gave up when he inherited bases loaded with 2 outs in the 8th inning against Quebec last Friday night. Nothing else outside of that. Kicks and fires home. It bounces outside in a full count. Crick with the blue stirrups today. White bottoms with the blue stirrups and lighter blue and white stripes towards the top of the sock with his gray pants pulled up just below the knees. Payoff pitch to Salas. Swung on and driven down the right field line. A fair ball past the glove of Olsen. Rolling into the Joliet bullpen, and down to second goes Salas with a stand-up double. It's the 4th hit given up this season by Crick. Salas poking one down the right field line. Olsen too late to get there. And brings up Matthew Workington, the first baseman, with a runner at second. And nobody out. Workington, first baseman, 0 for 2 today. Otters trying to keep this a 3-run ball game. Give themselves a chance in the latter innings. They think love to see Jay go and get some new arms. His first pitch is in for a strike to Workington. Crick working out of the stretch with Salas at second. Beige-brown glove. Finds and throws. Workington fouls it straight back, 0-2. Excellent crowd tonight that we've talked about, filling most of the seats, and tons of families and kids swarming around the grassy lawns on both the left field and right field lines. 0-2, swung on and shot foul again. Impressive array of suites here. There was even a juggler providing like one-on-one entertainment for one of the suites to my right. Thought it was a little bit odd looking. Not sure I want my own personal juggler while I'm watching a baseball game. I prefer to watch the game. He wasn't doing it in between a half inning too. He was just doing it right in the middle of an inning. The 0-2 from Crick is fouled off. The press box is adjourned to the suites where they get their own bar and food area, drinks, TVs, luxurious bathrooms. The real deal. And they get a one-on-one with the mascot also as well. 0-2 to Workington. Outside corner, strike 3 called. Crick paints the plate. Freezes Workington 1 away here in the 5th. 5-2 lead for the Slammers here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Salas at second. 1 out. Phil Stirring, the catcher, coming to the plate. There's 2 mascots for the Slammers. One of them is a dog. Not sure what a dog has to do with the Slammers, which is jail-related, of course. Also baseball-related, a slammer. But largely based around the jail. I guess you could have a dog defending the jail. Their other mascot is a jailbird. A bird that's, well, I guess in jail. It's wearing the full uniform, is Steering takes a pitch low, 1-0. The dog, though, he was up in one of the suites, just sitting out in the seats with some other fans. He definitely needs to. The dog looks like he's heating up a little bit, though. He was fanning himself with his hat. There's a hot one tonight. The 1-0 is outside, 2 balls and no strikes. That might be the worst job, too, in the ballpark on a hot night like tonight. In the mascot suit. Never gotten to experience it, but I've heard the horror stories of how hot and sweaty and smelly it is inside. Not fun. But it provides great entertainment, no doubt, as the 2-0, a strike on the inside corner to Steering, 2-1. Crick looking for a clean 5th inning. At the chest, winds and throws. Strike at the knees to Steering, 2-2. 2-run home run for Jacob Olson back in the 2nd. That's all the runs today for the Otters. Slammers have put up 2 in the 3rd and 3 in the 4th. Be a longer day today for the Otters bullpen. Crick steps off and watches Solis back to second base. The 2-2 from Crick, swung on and driven high in the air to left center. Over is Quiggle, and he makes the catch, 2 away.
Now batting left fielder number 39, Lane Barrymore.
Brings up Lane Barrymore, the left fielder, with 2 outs, and Solis still at second. Crick trying to work another scoreless inning. I need to work 2 innings tonight with Otters bullpen quiet right now, and 5 innings of work required for the Otters pen tonight. Lane Barrymore takes a first pitch strike. Barrymore 0 for 2 today, Solis at second, a 5-2 lead for Joliet. The 0-1. Swung on, grounded softly up the middle. Over is Melion, the shortstop in time. Throws to first, a high throw again. Olson this time is able to get the tag down. It has been a rough first week for Melion over at short. Made an error that cost the Otters a run earlier in the ball game. That a high throw. This time Olson's able to come down with it and tag out Barrymore down the line. So scoreless 5th for Crick. We go to the 6th inning. It's 5-2 Slammers on the Otters Digital Network.
Go on our signal down to the interns at the finish line. Once they hear the starting bell ring, they will be on their way. And they're off. Slow start out of the gate, but they are picking up steam. Oh, and we have a rider down. I think we have a winner. Attention fans, now playing left field for the Slammers, number 18, Matt Feinstein. Leading off the 6th for the Otters, center fielder number 19, Connor Quiggle.
Welcome back to Dooley Field here in Joliet, Illinois. The Otters trailing the Slammers 5-2 in the opener of this weekend series. Quiggle leads off the top of the 6th for Evansville, looking to start a rally for the Otters. Quiggle takes a first pitch outside from Tyler J. The lefty still on the bump for the Slammers, now into his 6th inning of work, 92 pitches. A former top 10 draft pick. He struck out 6 Otters and was the 2-run home run by Olson he's allowed. 1-0. Breaking ball is in for a strike. 1-1. Quiggle has reached base in every game he has played so far this year as he swings and misses. 1-2. Had a triple yesterday, yet to reach today though. 2 strikeouts. Lefty batter from Phoenix. 1-2, swing and a miss. Quiggle has struck out 3 times today, certainly unlike himself. There's 1 away here in the 6th, but Tyler J has looked every bit like a high-level big league prospect like he once was 10 years ago. Bouncing back from a struggling performance against Gateway. His 7th strikeout. First year of the 6th as it brings up Jomar Reyes, the third baseman. Fouls the first pitch off straight back. Otters have been watching the Gateway score over the last few days as Reyes swings, grounds 1 to short. DePretta Johnson there throws to first in time to beat Reyes down the line, and there's 2 away. Jay has retired the last 7 Otters. Olson is 2 for 2 today with a home run and a base hit as he comes to the plate. Well, Gateway is facing Henry Omana tonight, maybe the best pitcher in the Frontier League. The Otters were lucky to miss him, the Windy City ace, as the first pitch to Olson is low. Omana is 4-0 on the season. 4 wins in all 4 appearances, and he shut out Gateway right now. Windy City leads 1-0 in the bottom of the 7th, about 30 minutes away from here in Crestmont. Olson takes a strike, 1-1. Gateway on an 8-game win streak, a win tonight, and they top the Otters' 8-game win streak from last week and go for have the longest active win streak in the league. The 1-1 driven down the third base line and a fair ball. Rolling into the Otter bullpen, Olson hustling around to second in safely. A stand-up double for Jacob Olson right down the third base line. He is 3 for 3 today and now a triple shy of the cycle. Two-run home run in the 2nd for Olson. Based it in the 4th. And now a double right down the third base line here in the 6th. What a day for Jacob Olson. Entered the day with 12 hits on the season, and he has 25% of that total from yesterday, or from coming into today, is equal today, if that bad math made any sense of it. Rosario is the new batter. He swings and softly grounds 1 to short. Not an easy play for DePretta Johnson. Throw to first in time to beat the speedy Rosario. That's the 3rd out of the inning. Olson a double, but the Otters can't do anything more, and it's 6 strong for the lefty, Tyler J. He has quieted the Otters' bats tonight. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, 5-2 lead for Joliet over Evansville on the Otters Digital Network.
Happy birthday, Hayden Swinton. Leading off for Joliet 6, shortstop number 4, Tyler Johnson.
The bottom of the sixth inning here from Joliet, a 5-2 lead for the Slammers over the Otters in the opener of this weekend series here in suburban Chicago. Tyler Johnson leads things off against James Crick, who will work a second inning of work here for the Otters, trying to keep this a 3-run ball game. Crick winds and throws. First pitch inside to Johnson for a ball, 1-0. Continuing with the Princess Night and Kid music theme, they were playing Raining Tacos in between the half inning. The 1-0 swung on and missed by Johnson, 1-1. The kids in the crowd were going nuts. They were super into it. I had to Shazam the song and figure out what are the kids listening to these days. Apparently it's Raining Tacos. The 1-1 Johnson swings. Blooper into right over to his right is Rosario to make the catch near the line. 1 away.
Now batting designated hitter number 26, Christian Fedko.
Brings up Christian Fedko, the DH, with 1 out and nobody on here in the bottom of the sixth. Slammers leading by 3. And the Otters certainly hoping that it's at least gonna, Raining Tacos would be nice. If it starts raining some runs for them soon, that would help as well. Fedko takes the first pitch low, 1-0. If it does rain tacos, though, hopefully it's a soft shell, because a hard shell would hurt. Be like hail. A soft taco, that sounds great. A 1-0 inside to Fedko, 2-0. Actually got a taqueria down the third baseline here at Dooley Field. Was not bold enough to try it tonight on an empty stomach, but maybe later in the weekend. The 2-0 pitch. A strike on the outside corner, 2-1. Did have some cheese curds, and they delivered. I was told they were from a company up in Wisconsin. I said if they're cheese curds from Wisconsin, they know how to do it up there. The 2-1. Fedko swings and drives one high in the air to left, but playable for Myers. Now coming in and making the catch, 2 away. Fedko sent that one up high into the air, but got under it, and the wind blowing in from left knocked it down. Good outing right now for Crick. He'll have the leadoff double, and since then he has retired 5 Slammers in a row. So bring up G.J. Hill, the second baseman, with 2 outs and nobody on here in the bottom of the 6th. Crick winds and throws, and Hill fouls it straight back, 0-1. 2 runs on 5 hits and an error for the Otters, 5 runs on 7 hits and no errors for the Slammers. Evansville with a few things in the 3-run fourth for Joliet that they'd like back. The 0-1 outside, 1-1. Called third strike. That was overturned in the 4th inning, and then the inning should have ended 1 run earlier, but an error over at short by Melion on a poor throw helped add 1 more run to the total. Otters, though, will likely face the Joliet bullpen in the 7th. That's some good news. The 1-1 inside, 2-1. Got a righty warming in the Slammers bullpen. It was an excellent start, though, tonight for the hometown kid himself, Tyler J. The lefty had the Otters number. Only Jacob Olsen hit him. 3 hits for Olsen. The rest of the Otters team only had 2 hits. Crick fires home, and Hill pops it up into the seats. Who wants it? Well, bounces off a seat in a suite, ricocheting around, and it falls right to a tiny child. She doesn't know what's hit her, quite literally. It's hers. Oh, she throws it. She just throws it into the crowd from her suite, and luckily everyone was still looking at her. That could have been highly dangerous. My goodness. Hill takes high for a full count. I don't think she understood she was supposed to hold on to it for a souvenir and just chucked it into the stands below her. Everyone's okay, though, and someone else has a souvenir, and they're going to hold on to that. Comes the payoff. It's high and away, and Hill works the walk. Back to the top of the order for Joliet and Liam MacArthur, with Hill working the 2-out walk. Crick trying to complete 2 innings of work, which would tie his longest outing of the season. The far right to the rubber to face the lefty MacArthur, who takes a strike on the outside corner. Crick throws over to first to check on Hill, and he's back in safely. 0-1 count to MacArthur with 2 outs. They've had a whole operation there trying to get the ball back to the little girl. Hold on to the souvenir, and it took 4 tries for them to chuck it back up into the suite level above the main seating concourse. MacArthur fouls one back 0-2. On the 4th or 5th try, they finally got it safely back up into the suite, and I think a parent will probably hold on to that so she doesn't chuck it down below again. 0-2 to MacArthur, inside for a ball. Throw down to second on the running Hill is late. J.G. Hill, the young speedster, has a stolen base. 4th stolen base of the season for Hill. He's in scoring position. A 1-2 count to MacArthur with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Crick looking for the final out, likely of his out. Far right side of the rubber, peeks back at second. The bearded one winds and throws, and Hill grounds one right side down the line. Glove by Olson, tries to toss to Crick. It bounces out of Crick's glove and falls next to the first base bag. MacArthur safe at first. Hill will hold it third, and the inning continues. That was a tough play, just far enough off the line that Olson had to peel off to come onto the green turf, and Crick over to cover, a little bit out of control, couldn't just grab the baseball with his glove and step on the bag. Didn't help with your leadoff hitter up for Joliet and MacArthur speeding down the line. They're going to rule it a base hit. So runners on the corners with 2 outs. The pitch to Holzwasser, swings and pops it up into shallow left. Back is the shortstop, Million under it, and he makes the grab to retire the side. So Crick and the Otters work out of the threat in the 6th. It stays a 3-run ball game. 5-2 the score. We head to the 7th on the Otters Digital Network.
When did Serena Williams start playing tennis professionally? Was it A, 1999, B, 2002, or C, 1995? We will have the answer coming up for you in a little while. It's the SunPower call for the bullpen, brought to you by Sun and Us. Now coming into picture, Joliet, number 44, Will McLean. Leading off the 7th for the Otters, catcher number 5, Justin Felix.
A 5-2 lead for the Joliet Slammers over the Evansville Otters as we move to the top of the 7th inning here from Joliet. The Otters, for the first time, will face that pitcher out of the Slammers bullpen this series. Much welcome sight after 6 excellent innings from Tyler J. It's Will McLean, a righty for Joliet, and he'll face Justin Felix to lead off the 7th. First pitch to Felix was a strike. Comes the 0-1. It's outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. McLean making his 4th appearance of the season, 6 2/3 innings pitched, a 4.05 ERA as he's allowed 3 runs. Comes the 1-1. Felix sprays it foul left side. McLean has actually started 2 games on the season. His first 2 appearances were starts, but he didn't go long, especially in his second start. He only got 2 outs and then left the game. His last outing, pitched an inning and allowed a run earlier this week against the Jackals. 1-2, swing and a miss. A breaking ball fooled Felix, 1 away. It's the 8th time that the Otters have struck out today. They struck out 7 times against Jay. And now Felix striking out in the 7th. 1 away, and it brings up Kelvin Melion, the shortstop, who's 0 for 2 today. McLean kicks and throws. Oh, look out. Melion dives onto the turf to get out of a ball up near his head, 1-0. It's definitely a little bit of a quirky motion from McLean, the Bowling Green State University grad, as Melion takes a strike, 1-1. Not a traditional over the top. Comes over the side somewhat, but not all the way a sidearm, and then a little extra pushing of the baseball than normal, kind of forcing his body forward a little more than typical as he throws. Odd-looking motion from the reliever. 1-1 outside. And now the 2-1 pitch. It plunks Melion. Had one up near his head. Melion had to get out of the way. And this one will not get out of the way of the shortstop. He's aboard. The first time the Otters have been hit today, and adding to the league-leading plunking of Evansville. It's the 33rd time the Otters have been hit this year. That's almost double more any other team in the league. It's a staple of Andy McCauley's teams to just be gritty and take those hit pitches, and somehow they seem to have built magnets into these batters to send baseballs heading towards them. So Melion aboard, 1-on-1 out for Noah Myers. Edward Jones, leadoff batter, takes the first pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. Lights are on and pretty much into full effect now over a rapidly darkening sky. Comes the 1-0 to the lefty Myers. It's high, 2 balls and no strikes. McLean, 2 walks, that's all. 6 2/3 innings pitch, but giving up the 5 runs on the season. Otters would like to get a few here back, trailing by 3. A 2-0 is at the knees, 2 balls and 1 strike. Just past 2 hours of baseball played on this opener here at Dooley Field. Game 2 is tomorrow, 30 minutes earlier. Don't be late. 6:05 first pitch. The 2-1. It hits Myers. A fastball that just missed and plunked him on the foot. And that's it. Back-to-back hit batters by McLean. He's gotten into some trouble before, and as soon as Dan Schlereth and the Slammers saw it, I think that was when they said enough, or no, actually they're getting the athletic trainer. That's what he was pointing for. He was pointing over towards the Joliet pen, and I thought had to be for a new pitcher, but it's the athletic trainer who's walking on out, and I guess they're concerned about an injury to Schlereth, or to McLean, who's hit 2 straight batters. It's Melion, a lefty, or a righty, and then hits Myers, a lefty. Melion at second, Myers at first with 1 out. And Ethan Skinder, the second baseman, coming to the plate. Rapid movement in the Slammers bullpen to start getting an arm loose. No one warming in the Otters bullpen at the moment, though. Leona de la Cruz is holding a baseball right now. We'll see if Crick lasts another inning. They try to give him 3. He's been pretty solid for the Otters. Still looking McLean on the mound with the athletic trainer and the manager in his second season for the Slammers, former big league pitcher, primarily with the Tigers, Dan Schlereth. Meeting concluded. The hypothesis is he's okay to pitch, and everyone's heading back to the dugout. So the Otters with a great chance here in the top of the 7th to mount a comeback. The tying run coming to the plate in the form of Skinder, and the base runners just handed to them. Melion hit, followed by Myers. Skinder 1 for 3 today with a base hit. First pitch to Ethan is at the knees for a strike, 0-1. Skinder has the longest active hitting streak for the Otters with his hit today. He's now at a 10-game hit streak. His 306 batting average on the season, one of the best on the Otters. A kick and a throw. Both runners go on a delayed steal. It's a strike, but Steering decided, really catcher's indifference, to just let the runners steal, frame up the pitch. And the Otters' delayed steal works again. A little hesitation from Melion and Myers. Double steal. They both take off. It's kind of that slow motion sidearm that we described for McLean that allows for a little bit of extra time as well. Evansville has both runners in scoring position with 1 out. 0-2 count to Skinder. They're going to give each a stolen base. The 0-2 is pulled outside. Diving is steering into the left-handed batter's box to prevent it from rolling to the backstop. Melion at third. Myers at second with great speed. A base hit could make this a 1-run ball game in the 7th. McLean on the right side of the rubber. Kicks and throws in the dirt. 2-2. Skinder with 19 hits on the year. Got his 20th today. Second best total on the Otters. He has been terrific over the last 2 weeks for Evansville. Now 10 hits in his last 7 games. The 2-2 pitch, outside and a full count. Skinder is worked at full. There is a base open at first with Jeffrey Baez, the powerful designated hitter today for the Otters, coming to the plate. Here comes the payoff. Swing and a miss by Skinder. Breaking ball by McLean. Fools Skinder big, second out. That was a huge at bat in this ball game, and McLean, after back-to-back batters, gets Skinder to strike out. Jeffrey Baez is next up, but now is that going to do it for McLean? Yes. Now the righty is ready in the pen. Schlereth will signal, and the day is done for a very disappointed-looking McLean, who's has his head down in a despondent look, and his arms just dangling by his side in frustration. A big spot here with 2 on and 2 out. The Otters trailing by 3. Jeffrey Baez coming to the plate, and a new pitcher coming into the game for the Slammers. A 5-2 lead for Joliet over the Otters. We'll be back in a minute on the Otters Digital Network. Big moment here at Dooley Field as we're back for 2 on and 2 out in the top of the 7th inning. Brad Van Aslen is the new pitcher, a righty for the Slammers to face Jeffrey Baez. The Otters trailing by 3, but Baez the tying run at the plate. Van Aslen at the right side of the rubber comes home, and it's a first pitch strike to Baez. Van Aslen making his 6th appearance of the season, a 3.86 ERA. He's allowed 2 earned runs in 4 2/3 innings pitched. Got 2 outs cleanly against the Jackals last time up as the 0-1 bounces right off the butt of the bat, or the head of the bat, I should say, of Baez on a pitch he'd held up on, and goes down as a 2nd strike. That's tough luck. Van Aslen is a strike away from getting out of the jam. Baez is 0 for 3 today. Van Aslen winds and throws inside, 1-2. Baez with 5 home runs, but hasn't had one now in over a week, getting back to at New Jersey, his last home run in the first game of that series. Now 9 days ago. 1-2 pitch, swung on and popped up into right. Over is Holzwater, he's under it, and makes the grab for the 3rd out of the inning. The Otters put a runner in scoring position for the 3rd time in the last 4 innings, but can't bring anyone home. It's a 5-2 lead for the Slammers, and it's stretch time here at Joliet.
Leading off the 7th for the Slammers, 3rd baseman, number 13, Will Salas.
Welcome back to Dooley Field in Joliet, Illinois. It's been a lovely evening in Chicagoland, but not so far if you're an Otters player, as they trail 5-2 to the Slammers. Leone de la Cruz in for the 7th out of the Otters bullpen. Brand new white kicks, fires a first pitch strike into Salas. Bright white shoes. I saw him wearing them the other day. Gave him a compliment. They're glowing all the way up here from the press box. Another pitch in for a strike to Salas. Quickly 0-2. The southpaw de la Cruz has given up just 1 run on the season for the Otters. Comes the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. That was easy. 1-2-3. Salas sent down. We've talked about it numerous times. De La Cruz might have the best stat stuff of any pitcher on the Otters. 7 appearances, 6 innings pitch, he struck out 13 batters. And his last outing was actually the first time he'd given up a run. He gave up 2 runs against Windy City just on Wednesday at night at Bosse Field. Now it's Matthew Workington who swings and misses at the first pitch he sees, 0-1. Control and the command are the biggest concerns for De La Cruz, but the stuff is all there. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. A fastball up in the zone, zipping by at 92 miles per hour. There's no doubt about it. De La Cruz is a really fun pitcher to watch. The movement, the speed, the macho on the mound. And in my mind, my personal opinion, there's no doubt he's going to be signed at some point in the next few months. And I will dearly miss watching him. The 0-2 outside, 1-2. What is excellent Otters bullpen, and today a rare task with the Otters trailing by 3, trying to keep Evansville in the game, and the Otters trying for a come-from-behind victory. A 1-2, swing and a miss. Workington tied up on a slider that fell out of the zone. I don't know, it looked, most of the put-away pitches are sliders for De La Cruz, but had some vertical movement on it too, down. It's just, it can move to the side, it can move up and down, it can back door, front door. De La Cruz has the full repertoire up his sleeve. Back-to-back Ks to start the 7th. Brings up the righty Philip Sterling, who takes the first pitch outside, 1-0. De La Cruz on the far left side of the rubber comes home, and Sterling swings and misses. 1-1. 5-2, the Slammers leading. The Otters just 2 runs on 5 hits. 3 of their 5 hits coming from Jacob Olson, who's had a terrific game. And we are going to get a pitch clock violation. More of a hit clock violation, you could call it, as it's on Steering, the catcher. He took too long getting into the box. So that adds a second strike to the total. A 1-1 count becomes a 1-2 count. 1-2 from De La Cruz. Low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's the second pitch clock violation we've seen this week with the Otters playing, both on the hitters. The 2-2 inside and a full count. Still waiting to see the first on a pitcher, which is, of course, what do you think more so, and it's literally called the pitch clock. Payoff pitch coming to Steering. De La Cruz, big kick and a throw. Swung on and driven left side and foul. A hop to the left of the third base back. Leone looking to strike out the side here in the bottom of the 7th. Another payoff. He winds and fires, and Steering pops it up towards me. Here it comes. It's going to fall a few feet in front of me and bounce into the seats. I was ready to make the play if it came to. There was a lot of time. That ball caught a lot of air. Of course, the fans sitting below me were unaware. They were not ready to make the play, but everyone's okay down there. Just a little shocked. Here comes another payoff. Strike 3 call on the inside corner. De La Cruz, an inning. He strikes out the side, and he holds his lead at 3. The Otters still looking to rally. We go to the top of the 8th. It's 5-2 Slammers on the Otters Digital Network.
863-493. Please head to the 50-50 table to collect your prize. All right, Allison, what's going on down there?
Cinderella, Snow White, Rapunzel. Hatchet.
Leading off the Evansville 8th, center fielder number 19, Kona Quiggle.
Otters with 2 more innings to try to complete a comeback and get their first victory here in Joliet in 2 years. They were swept in the only series here last year at Dooley Field, trying to erase some bad memories. But they trail 5-2 as we go to the top of the 8th inning. Kona Quiggle will lead things off for the Otters here in the top of the 8th inning. Same pitcher back on the bump for the Slammers, and Brad Van Oslen fires the first pitch low to Quiggle. Van Oslen came in just to get the last out of the 7th inning with 2 on and 2 out. Righty sets up on the far right side of the rubber. Beige glove, winds and throws outside. 2-0 to Mr. Quiggle. Inky black sky now, lights in full effect on this warm night with temperatures still around 80 degrees. The 2-0 is high and a 3-0 count to Quiggle. Expecting another hot one tomorrow evening, and then we're going to play day baseball on Sunday when luckily 1 o'clock start to be a little bit colder, around 80 degrees. The 3-0 is high for ball 4. 4-pitch walk to Quiggle, and the Otters have base runners again here in the 8th.
Now batting third base number 28, Jamar
First
Ray.
time Quiggle has reached today, but maintains his on-base streak. He's reached in every game he's played so far this season. It's now a 16-game on-base streak for Kona Quiggle. That's the longest by any Otter this season. Now it's Omar Reyes. First pitch to the righty. Reyes is a strike on the outside corner. Here's the first strike of the inning from Van Oslen. Quiggle at first with nobody out in the top of the 8th. 5-2 lead. Van Oslen checks over at first and Quiggle back in safely. Wind is really picked up. Gusting in now from left center. The 0-1 swung on, chopped up the middle, and through for a base hit. Quiggle's going to try for 3, picked up in center by MacArthur. The throw is held up, and the Otters have runners on the corners with nobody out here in the top of the 8th.
Batting first baseman number 2, Jacob Olsen.
Omar Reyes seems to come through with one big hit every game, and he does it here in the 8th. A base hit up the middle to put runners on the corners with nobody out, and Jacob Olsen, the first baseman, coming to the plate. What a day it's been for Olsen. He's 3 for 3, shows bunt and pulls it back. It bounces off the mat, or the mask of the catcher, steering, and Reyes just jogs down to second, and kind of Olsen getting out of the way and steering, trying to get the ball. The Otters building quite the tantalizing threat here in the top of the 8th. Steering out to have a quick word with Van Oslen, try to calm him down. A walk to Quiggle, a base hit up the middle by Reyes has paved the way for the hottest guy in the Otters lineup. Olsen with a home run back in the 2nd, a 2-run home run, a base hit in the 4th, and a double in the 6th. What can he do here in the 8th? 1-0 count to the righty. Van Oslen sets at the belt. Rocking back and forth. Winds and fires, and Olsen checks his swing on a pitch outside, and he went around 1-1. No gloves, Jacob Olsen, the last couple days, and it's worked wonders for him. Looking for his 4th hit of the day. Be his biggest, too. Comes the 1-1. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. An empty base at first with Rosario on deck. There's 1 for 2 today with a hit in the second. Long looking for Van Alsden. Far right side of the rubber. He twirls home inside, and it nearly hit Olsen. The back out of the way. Up near the chest, 3-1. Nobody out here on the top of the 8th. The Otters trail by 3, but they have the tying run at the plate and the go-ahead run on deck. And Olsen kicks and throws. Olsen swings and grounds one right to the shortstop to Preda Johnson. He throws to first in time for the out. Quiggle will score from third, but the Slammers are content to take the out. The Otters cut the lead to 2. Olsen grounds out. Reyes stays at second. And it will bring up Ryan Rosario with an out on the board here in the 8th. No action right now in the Slammers bullpen, though there's some guys warming, but no throwing. Lefty Brian Rosario, 1 for 2 today. You'd love to get him on base with his stealing prowess right now. He is the tying run. Rosario swings and misses, 0-1. Rosie's been great on the bases, but also much better with the bat of late. Upped his batting average to 230, 224 make it. After being in the hundreds for much of the start of the season, Rosario grounds one off the middle, skids off the side of the mound, goes to the shortstop, Preda Johnson, who throws to first for the out. Oh, Reyes is going to score from second. The Slammers just weren't paying attention. Oh, how about the base running for Omar Reyes? The Otters dugout loves the effort from Reyes. Baez came racing over with a big smile in the dugout to give him a high five, and the rest of the dugout patting him on the helmet. Well, that's a big run for the Otters to cut the lead to 1. There's a ground ball to Preda Johnson to first, and then Reyes advanced to second, and working in, I think, a toss to G.J. Hill to throw it around the horn, and Reyes realized I can just score. The catcher steering wasn't paying attention, and he just walked home. Wow. So the ground out by Rosario, a ball that looked like it might be destined to go up the middle, but it just hit the side of the mound and helped go to the shortstop. Felix is the batter. He took a first pitch low, and now he takes a second pitch low. A lot going on here in the 8th. So there's 2 away. The bases are now cleared on the great base running by Reyes to score on just a play where the Slammers fell asleep. The 2-0 outside, 3-0 to Felix. 2 across here in the 8th to cut the lead to 1. It's 5-4. Otters trying to mount a comeback late on this Friday night. And Olsen at the belt. Kicks and throws. It's high for ball 4. Felix works a 4-pitch walk. The game tying run is aboard. A go-ahead run to the plate, and Kelvin Melion. Melion today 0 for 2. He was hit back in the 7th. He has a hit and an RBI in every game he's played so far this season. 3 hits and 4 RBIs. Melion swings at the first pitch and fouls it straight back. 5-4 lead for the Slammers here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Otters have plated 2 here in the 8th to raise the drama on this Friday night at Dooley Field. And Olsen winds and throws home inside, and Melion had to slither out of the way to avoid being hit 1-1. The 1-1 from Van Alsen. Swung on by Melion, popped up right side. Look out in the suites. It's going to bounce on top of the roof.
That foul ball brought to you by Brown & Brown Insurance. Insurance advice that's always a hit.
The Otters have not won a game this season when trailing after the 6th inning or later. Trying to break that tonight. The 1-2 bouncing in the dirt. Good stop by steering behind home plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Melion with a runner at first and 2 away here in the top of the 8th. The Otters trail by 1. Another close game this week for Evansville. Here's the 2-2. Swung on, popped up, lazy fly ball in shallow center. Back is Hill, the second baseman. He makes the grab for the 3rd out of the inning. The Otters, though, get 2 runs. They didn't need 3 in the 8th. They just needed to cut into the deficit a little bit, and they accomplished that. Quiggle worked a walk. Reyes had a key base hit up the middle, and on a couple ground outs, the Otters got him home. Cut the lead to 5-4. They head to the bottom of the 8th inning. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network.
Pizza is our winner tonight. Congratulations. And can I have your attention, please? Patricia Rolls. Patricia Rolls, R-O-E-L-S. On behalf of all of us up here in the PA booth, I'd like to thank you for buying us that round of ice cold beers. You may now retrieve your credit card at the information booth behind section 105. For your safety and the safety of those around you, please do not sit on or climb on the dugouts. Thank you. Putting out the Joliet left fielder, number 18, Matt Hunstein.
Welcome back to Dooley Field. Go to the bottom of the 8th inning. 5-4 lead for the Slammers over the Otters. Tyler Vale into the game here in the 8th, trying to keep this at a 1-run ball game and give the Otters a comeback chance in the 9th. Ian Barrymore, left fielder, 0 for 3 today, leading things off against Vale. Vale last pitched in the sudden death tiebreaker on Wednesday night against Windy City. He fires one home. Barrymore swings and drives one into left center. This ball rolling all the way to the track, cut off by Myers. Barrymore safely into second with a leadoff double here in the 8th. Otters with 2 in the top half of the inning. The Slammers trying to make things easier in the bottom half with a couple runs of their own. They haven't scored since back in the 4th inning. The Otters bullpen until now has held them scoreless. Tyler DePretta Johnson, the shortstop, up to the plate. He takes a first pitch strike from Vale, 0-1. Just the 4th appearance of the season for Vale. 3 2/3 innings pitched, and the only run allowed, that run in the sudden death tiebreaker, which goes down as an unearned run to his total, as DePretta Johnson takes a pitch inside, 1-1. 3 2/3 innings pitched for Vale. Just 3 hits allowed. Was an out away from earning the win in that sudden death playoff. The 1-1 swung on and driven. Melion diving and making the catch. Left sideline drive. Melion is not at a great week at short, but he makes a great play, diving to his left to make the grab and getting a huge first out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Brings up Christian Fedko, the DH, with 1 out, and Barrymore still at second. The Otters trailing by 1. There goes Barrymore. It's a pitch out, throw down to third, and safely is Barrymore to third. Not a pitch out, but the opposite more so on the Slammers side of signals were sent to Fedco to take all the way and send Barrymore to go to third. And it was well executed. He stepped out, veiled a late release, and Barrymore easily down to third. The Otters infield is now in with 1 out. So here's the 0-1 to Fedco. Swung on and popped up behind home plate over my head. 0-2. The Otters playing the infield in, realizing this is a big run here. They want to keep it a 1-run ball game. It means in the 9th, the swing of a bat can tie it. 0-2 count to Fedco. Vale winds and throws outside in the left-handed batter's box. Vale kicks and throws. Fedco swings, drives down the third baseline, past the glove of Reyes and into left. Barrymore will score, and the Slammers have an insurance run here in the bottom of the 8th. Just over the glove of Reyes, he slammed the turf down in disappointment that he couldn't make that catch. First earned run, Vale's given up on the season. RBI base hit for Fedco. Extends the lead to 6-4. It brings up G.J. Hill, the second baseman. Still 1 out and a runner at first. Vale winds home. It's a strike to Hill. Vale on the right side of the rubber, winds and throws outside, 1-1 to Hill. It's been a great crowd tonight, and though it's well past their bedtime, most of the kids and families in attendance are still here and enjoying their evening on this sellout crowd. It is a fireworks night as well, so you have more incentive to stay in your seats, as well with an exciting ball game. Hill pops up the 1-1. Into center, coming in is Myers. It's a long run, and it's Quiggle, actually, who will make the catch in right center. 2 away. Back to the top of the order, MacArthur. Vale looking for 1 more out, and send it to the 9th as a 2-run ball game, and give the Otters top of the lineup a chance for their first comeback victory of the season. Vale steps off, checks over at first. Fedco back in safely. Top of the order, Myers, Skinner, Baez in the 9th for the Otters. Vale fires home to the lefty MacArthur. Just low, 1 ball and no strikes. 6 runs on 10 hits and no errors for the Slammers tonight. 4 runs on 6 hits and an error to Evansville. Comes the 1-0 pitch outside, 2-0. Now kicks and throws, runner goes, pitch is a strike, throw down to second is a good one, but Melion off the bounce can't field the ball with his glove. Felix, a nice throw from the catcher's position on the money. Did bounce it though, and Melion couldn't pick it off the dirt. So Fedco in scoring position with the stolen bag. Both teams have been aggressive on the base pass, especially the Slammers. 2-1 count to MacArthur. Pitch, fouled straight back. Slammers have 4 stolen bases today. 2-2 count. Vail peeks back at second and comes home. Breaking ball outside, it'll full count. Game 2 is tomorrow, 6:05 first pitch. On a Saturday night, it's going to be sitcom night here at the ballpark. Sounds like a great evening to me. I'm a sucker for a sitcom. Payoff from Vail, outside for ball 4, and the 8th continues.
Now batting is right fielder number 22, Scott Holzwasser.
Comes up Holzwasser, who had a 2-run home run back in the 3rd to start the scoring for Joliet. 2 on with 2 out. The Otters really could use an out here to keep it a 2-run game and give themselves a shot in the 9th. Holzwasser 1 for 4 just with that home run. Vail comes home. Strike to Holzwasser. Vail peeks back at second and comes home. A strike at the knees. 0-2. Gateway has come from behind to win in Windy City. They trailed 1-0 for most of the game. They played 2 in the 8th, and they keep the win streak going. It's 9 in a row now for the Grizzlies. They passed the Otters for the longest win streak in the Frontier League this year. The 0-2, swing and a miss by Holzwasser. Big strikeout for Vail to get out of the jam. The Grizzlies do get 1 run to extend the lead, and the Otters will try for a comeback in the 9th. 6-4. The Slammers need. To the 9th we go. From Joliet on the Otters Digital Network.
Now coming in to pitch for the Slammers, number 19, Heavy Louisville.
To the top of the 9th, closer in for the Slammers as they'll try to take down the Otters here. They lead 6-4. The closer, Evie Ruibul, 4 saves already on the season for Joliet. Face the top of the order for the Otters, starting with Noah Myers. Righty Ruibul, 4 saves and 4 opportunities. 8 innings pitched. He winds and throws. First pitch to Myers is inside, 1-0. 6 runs for the Slammers, 4 for the Otters. Evansville plated 2 in the 8th to make this a tight ball game here in the 9th. Ruibul at the belt, kicks and throws on the outside corner, 1-1. Ruibul, opponents are hitting just 143 against them. He's allowed 3 earned runs in 8 innings pitched. Already a lot of high leverage situations with the 4 saves. The 1-1 inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Biggest thing to watch for Ruibul, 6 walks on the season. Ruibul, big kick and a throw. Myers swings and foul tips one off the end of the bat. 2-2. Myers looking for his first hit today. He's 0 for 3 and was hit back in the 7th. Final ball game here tonight in the Frontier League. The rest of the action is done. All eyes here on Joliet. The 2-2 outside and a full count to Myers. Big payoff pitch here with nobody out in the 9th. Ruibel winds and throws, and Myers slaps it foul. It bounces off the front of the Otters dugout. Another payoff coming. Ruibel kicks and throws. It is strike 3 on the outside corner. Myers frozen. The first out of the 9th. The Otters have struck out 9 times today. Then Skinner, the second baseman, the new batter, he takes the first pitch strike. Otters trail by 2 with 1 out and nobody on. The real note, though, in the 9 strikeouts, is 6 of those are strikeouts looking. Skinner swings, grounds one right back to Ruibel. Nice glove by the pitcher. Underhand toss to first. There's 2 away, and the Slammers are an out away from a drama 3-9. Jeffrey Baez to the plate. Last hope here for the Otters. With 2 outs and nobody on, and Evansville trailing 6-4. Baez 0 for 4 today. First pitch to the slugger, a strike on the outside corner. Comes the 0-1, swing and a miss, 0-2. And the Slammers are a strike away. Ruibel takes a big deep breath, winds and fires high. Comes the 1-2. Here it is. Swing and a miss by Baez. Strike 3. Out number 3 of the 9th. And the Slammers take the opener tonight. A final score of 6-4. Evansville cut into the lead with 2 in the 8th. But Slammers added a run in the bottom half of the 8th, and nothing going in the 9th inning for Evansville. The Slammers take game number 1 here tonight. A final score of 6-4. Final totals tonight. The Otters falling 4 runs on 6 hits and 1 error for Evansville. The Slammers 6 runs on 10 hits and no errors. Austin Gossman gets the loss, his first loss of the season. He falls to 2-1. The best night for Gossman, and it was only just one inning in the 4th where things really went wrong. Gave up 2 on a 2-run home run in the 4th, but then a 3-run 5th with 1 unearned. Ended up being 4 earned runs on the tap for Gossman, 6 hits, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. He gets the loss. Otters bullpen had some really good moments. James Crick worked 2 scoreless, as did Leone De La Cruz. Tyler J gets the win tonight for Joliet. 6 innings pitched, and he holds the Otters to just 2 runs in his 6 innings pitched. Evansville struck out tonight a total of Otters struck out a total of 11 times, get that against 6 looking tonight. So 6-4 the final score. Offensively, Evansville led very much by Jacob Olson. He had a great night, 3 for 4, a base hit, a double, and a 2-run